All right, fellas, today I got a rare gem from Japan. This is the Eclipse EUM-2420. And I'm going to go over the specs, and then we'll walk around it, and then I'm going to open it up, and we'll take a look at the guts. This was the largest amp Eclipse offered in 1990. It ran from 90 to 95, and then they came out with the white amps. They ran those for a couple years, and then they had like two lines, like a higher and a lower one, and they were silver. The MSRP was $499, which in today's money is like $990. So it's like $1,000 in today's money. So very expensive amps. It's a dual monoblock, very high quality. You'll see as we walk around this. This is a pretty sweet amp. It's 50 watts by 4 at 4 ohm, and 100 watts by 4 at 2 ohm. So it's a 400 watt amp. The bandwidth is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Signal to noise 105 dB. It should do its power at 0.03 THD. The dimensions are 13 3/8 by 10, and it's 2 3/8 thick. And then we'll go ahead and walk around this thing. The one feature that I really like that's slick on this, it's like just a little touch that they did, but it makes it look really sweet, is you see that silver going down it? That's a bar of aluminum that they milled at an angle. When I seen it, I thought it was like painted like a silver line across it. But it's actually milled that way, and it just looks really sharp. So when you mount them, I don't know how you'd incorporate that, because if you're like this, you're never going to see it. So you have to somehow mount them flat so you can kind of see the front of it. Anyway, so we'll take a look. So this would be like the front of the amp. And there's that bar. It's held in there by a couple socket head cap screws. And then, of course, you see in the top, the side of the amp. And then you'll notice this heatsink looks a lot like a lot of the Japan amps. Alpine, Denon, Harman Kardon. Not Harman Kardon. Was it an HK? No, Nakamichi. They all had a real similar, and you could have any color you wanted in Japan as long as the amp was black. And then here's the bottom. And this one's got a little battle damage on it, but it's not too bad, especially for the age. And this thing is an absolute beast. This is the heaviest amp I've ever handled. For its size, this thing is super heavy. And then there's the two inputs, A and B. And it's got a selector switch for 4, 3, or 2 channel operation. And then there's the input settings. And you can see this one, it only goes from 1 volt to 0.1 volt. So you'd have to be able to adjust something with your, like I have that Hyphonics Vega, that crossover. I could desensitize, so my deck is like throwing out 8 volts. Well, you can't put it into this amp. It'd be way too hot of a signal. So you could put it through that, and then there's settings on there that you could like turn the voltage coming out of that down. And here we go with the channel A, and it shows you bridge that for 2 channel operation, and then you use the left positive, right negative. And then this one is what you would bridge if you want to do 3 channels. So you'd hook that up in stereo, and then if you had this selector switch in 3 channel, then you could bridge this one. And then this is a power and ground. And then there's another power and ground and the remote control, the remote turn on. It's got 2 20 amp fuses. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll do its 400 watts. Should be no problem. But anyway, now we'll take a look at the inside of this amp. Ha! Gotcha. I tried to get this open so we could take a peek, but there's just no way. I don't know. This thing's it's in there. It's upside down. It's in there. And you know, I should have known better because I've taken apart Japanese amps before, and they're always like this from this era. But I mean, this thing is crazy engineered. You see that, like, drilled out? It's like a big chunk of aluminum that sits under here. I don't know if that's for heat dissipation or what's going on. There's another couple over here. I can barely see it, but if you look on the side, there's like a big old chunk that like sits over this whole area. But anyway, that's what the bottom of the PCB looks like anyway. Yeah, this thing's crazy how it's put together. Lots and lots of screws. I mean, even along here, you got a ton holding it in. I tried taking all those out to see if like the board would come out just itself, but you got to be able to take these brackets off, and these brackets have screws that are down in there that I can't get to. So I don't want to damage the thing. So anyway, well, that's it for the Eclipse EUM-2420.